A broken record in terms of my overall feeling, and I think it's a reflection of the team. We've got a disappointing overall record, and to me, a clear record of improvement. And so that's, in the end, the losses start to stack up. And for a coach, my credibility, my ability to keep these guys buying in and loving what they do has a lot to do with the overall record. So I think we're at a real crossroads, precipice. We need everybody to continue to buy in, bring the type of work ethic and character that they brought through the last 5 losses to this 6th loss, and try to chase our first win next week. Give credit to Sacramento State for taking control of the game there. I think in late first, or really throughout the first half, I thought they took control, and I give credit to our guys for fighting back and making it a game.
Can you talk about Braden Monroe? Had touchdown, 66 yards. Seems like he's really starting to come on as a true freshman.
Yes, yeah, really pleased with Braden. Maybe the clutchest catch was there on that last drive. Had about a 10-yard comeback route, and it was well defended. I think the defender had at least one hand squarely on the ball, and Braden just strong hands just took it from him and made a really difficult catch. And he does it every day in practice. We recruited him for a reason. I think he had a lot of opportunities to go other places, but family tradition to be here at UNC Bear, and he's going to be just a critical key component of getting this program turned around.
And
you mentioned being on a precipice, and precipice, important place. How do you address that tomorrow? Assuming that would be tomorrow when you come back and reunite with the guys again for the lifting and running and everything. What do you say to them?
Yeah, I probably need to put some more thought into that. I just spoke with the team after, and the message after the game was, we don't play football to achieve happiness. We don't. In my opinion, we're not here as people on this life to achieve happiness. We're here to experience things that awaken us and make us stronger. Character checks. And we got a major character check.
Coach, you've mentioned you've seen improvement in this team, and in the last couple games especially, you guys have shown you can play with tough competition, the top of the conference. Where's the gap that's missing? What's the extra step that takes these from close losses to wins?
We had in this particular game there, we had a substitution error late in the short yardage situation, and I think we had the right play. The play actually came off live, and I had called timeout just before, and I think we were going in standing up for the first down and maybe more.
Was that the one with Gibbs in the fourth?
Yeah, with Gibbs in there. He carried the ball, and we've run that play before, but we had a substitution error, and we broke the huddle with 12 guys and didn't get that 12th guy off the field in time, and so I had to burn a timeout. And so that I thought that wrecked not only that opportunity to get that first down, get a fresh set of downs with the game on the line in a 1-score game, but also we didn't have the 3 timeouts we needed to get the ball back after that. So it was just a critical error, and that's 100% on the coaches. So we've got to own that. It wasn't the only mistake in the game. It wasn't the only mistake by the coaches in the game. But that one was. If you're trying to point to something directly, there's part of me that wants to say we're on a clear trajectory. I don't think there's a person in our organization, equipment staff, training staff, coaches, players, that doesn't understand we're on a clear trajectory upward. We are closing the gap rapidly on the top teams in the country. If you're asking what we need to do better, I'll sit here as the head coach of an 0-6 team and tell you, today that was the most critical error. We could have been right in the game had it not been for that error.
Sac State has one of the top offenses in the conference, and kind of been checked. 21 points. I mean, your defense seemed like they were fighting throughout the whole game.
Yeah, defense, and offense too. Just the whole team is on an upward trajectory. we didn't quite finish some of the drives on offense and get as many points maybe as we'd like to get. I mean, I think the production, Sac State's total offensive production and our total offensive production was very similar, within a yard, I think. And they got 21 out of it, and we only got 13, and missed the early opportunity there with the turnover. On the second or third play of the game, we were deep in their territory, actually went backwards and had to settle for a field goal. And so, we didn't take the most advantage of our scoring opportunities during the game, didn't finish a couple of drives. And in the end, that was kind of the difference on maybe the offense feeling like they had a really strong game. 13 points doesn't feel like a strong game.
Coach, usually the running game has been a bright spot in the offense the last couple of weeks. Today it kind of got shut down with a lot of pressure from the front seven on their side.
Yeah.
What can you guys do better blocking assignment-wise to help the running backs and help Sermon stay a little bit more clean next week?
Yeah, I think we did that. We made that adjustment in the second half. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but my sense was we ran the ball much more efficiently in the second half than in the first half. And so we identified that their defense was bringing a lot of what we call run pressure. It's a little different than a pass blitz. And so we started winning over the top and really created some nice drives there in the second half. Like I said, not enough finished in scoring position, but we also were able to, at that point, get the run game going. We got their defense backed off. I really felt like we took control of the game, after halftime, and that we just ran out of time. They controlled too much of the game for us to make the comeback that we needed to make with the amount of time we had left.
They had 2 penalties on you guys, on UNC, set up 2 of their touchdowns. Unsportsmanlike on down at the far on the north side. I guess that was the first half, right? And then the targeting on the second. It was the second penalty that then led to the other touchdown. How do those happen, and how do you clean those up?
I'm trying to remember the first one.
The unsportsmanlike was.
I think it was 77.
Okay, that was on an offensive player. I was thinking when you said it led directly to scores.
I'm sorry.
It was an offensive player, Carson Oliver.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of 2 defensive personal fouls.
My mistake.
We had one on offense, one on defense. I thought that
my mistake.
Yeah, I'll need to look at the video. I really question whether Carson Oliver was lacking. Personal fouls are lack of composure.
Okay.
Should be lack of composure. I thought that the defender for Sacramento State had picked up the ball and was trying to advance the ball.
Oh.
And what I saw was that Carson went over and tackled him while he was trying to advance the ball. And the official said that Carson, that the play was clearly over, and that Carson should have known that. And that's a difficult position to be in. Players don't always hear that whistle clearly enough, and I feel like when one opponent when one side of the ball is still playing, that the other side should be able to still play as long as it's clean. And that being said, I didn't see everything, so I'm not being critical of the official, but before I can get critical on Carson, I would need to know how egregious that was. In my memory, I saw from his side a fair play after the whistle, responding to Sacramento State's player who was playing after the whistle.
Okay.
And then the other one that we had, the targeting,
What did you see there?
I was not able to see. I was not able to see that we used the crown of our helmet, but typically the officials are pretty good about identifying a crown of the helmet play. The quarterback was in a runner position. He was not in a quarterback position, and so it should have been officiated, and it probably was officiated that he was a runner, not a quarterback. I felt like the quarterback had also gotten low in that situation, so the defender should be able to get low, and there shouldn't be any type of targeting with a launch or any category other than crown of the helmet. And if he indeed put a crown of the helmet on him, we don't teach that. That's not part of football. We've got to clean up our act.
Coach Green, he had some good punts today. occasionally we see him roll out for the rugby style punt. Is that part of the scheme, or is that a personal decision that he makes of what's best in that scenario?
Yeah, we actually had a green light to fake. There was a screen on that play, and if he doesn't like the screen, then he goes ahead and punts it. It's not his sweet spot, but it does significantly slow down the opponent's rush. Just like a quarterback moves the pocket a little bit, it kind of slows down the rush, and it'll do that and pay dividends for us in the future. And also that fake is something that we can continue to use. It's an option play. And so that was the idea. That was the first time he'd done that all season. And so it was a called play, and then he took the option to kick the ball. And so, in terms of that not being his best kick in that moment, that's completely on me as the play caller. We put him in that situation. The risk-reward was potentially if they left the receiver uncovered, he had a throw that could have resulted in a first down in a game, in a situation where I felt like we needed some type of, to take some type of risk to add to the offense.